Welcome, Earth signs. This is a collective reading where Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn will be given specific readings following this brief introduction about dream speak, communicating with spirits. This is the topic of this collective reading. And in specific, I am looking at the communication or the connection that one is able to make through one's dreams to their ancestors. For most of us, the easiest access that the spirit realms have to us is during our dream life, when we're unconscious, when we're not creating conscious obstacles or resistance to the presence of spirits in our lives. And for most of us, the most easily accessible spirits are our ancestors for the reasons of bloodline, genetics, soul ties. It is quite likely that as we have lived and chosen multiple existences and lives, we have done that most consistently with those with whom we have lived, loved before in the past, as we are working out some specific uh, uh, karma or working towards a specific goal. This is unique to everyone, and everyone does not experience their dreams as a part of their spiritual practice. However, for many, dreams provide a safe place to build the muscle of your spiritual values, your powers to communicate, to move more and more consciously throughout the spirit realm, to connect with others, to communicate and to ask for what we desire from our ancestors, as well as to provide them with, sorry, allergies, to provide them with assistance. And this is a huge part of what I believe many of you are in the business of doing. This is where we not only work on our own wound, our own inner child, our own generational trauma, but we actually can have an impact on global or cultural trauma, social injustice through our connections to our ancestors. For earth signs, this may be practically experienced because of the wealth of experience many of you have had in multiple lives, because of your connection with security and stability, practical rewards, being of service, being productive, building things that last, but creating resources for others. The spirit realm and dreams as a way of accessing those spirits can be a very rich avenue for you, particularly in your meditative practice. So it is likely that if you have difficulty remembering your dreams, and for some of you, I know this is real. Although I am a pretty strong dreamer, I have not always remembered my dreams or sought to. But as during those times that I have done the things we're always counseled to do, and I have jotted down any image, thought, or idea or experience that I believed I had. And that usually leads to an unfolding of some kind of narrative that we can attach meaning to. And that meaning can shift, the meaning can elude us, but the power of the images and the feelings often stay with us. And those are worth documenting, recording easily with a book right by your bed, a conscious intention to remember them. And the more you do it, the easier it flows. And sometimes we make choices that we can't record every single dream, but some we go back to after a few days of meditating on them, understanding that they are increasing in their power over our conscious or imaginative lives. I pulled a glyph oracle and I brought up wings/elevation, and usually the glare is the enemy of the readings, but here the glare hopefully will pick up the writing that's very small here, elevation, wings, and then the beautiful wings that look like uh, Egyptian hieroglyphs. And there is in the background some hieroglyphic sub image underneath this beautiful card. This is about the human desire for ascendance. Uh, Wings are associated with deities, with divine beings, uh, and naturally, as an astrologer, wings are associated with the god Hermes, or Mercury, as he is popularly known in astrology, the messenger of the gods, the travel person, the quick thinker, the astute mind, the one who gathers information and moves rapidly throughout the cosmos, the divine world, Olympus. And this is really connecting up with the idea of astral travel in your dreams, because I believe that can astral travel when we're awake. We don't always know that we're doing it. And as it becomes more and more obvious to you in your dream life, you may begin to understand that you are doing it more and more as a feature of meditation, daydreaming, quiet contemplation, that you're able to project yourself into environments at a great distance or from long ago into an image as a way of experiencing something. And this is really speaks to not only the wealth of your experience in general with what makes you worldly, what makes you practical, and what makes you a voracious learner is this willingness to walk in another's shoes. And so astral projection or travel in dream life can open up a realm of past life experiences that you are making sense of, that you are working through in this lifetime. In the present, the Hermit card. The Hermit card is describing and emphasizing really the very qualities of uh, earth signs I just mentioned: practicality, dedication, devotion, loyalty to craft, to a community, to a service, to a job, a responsibility. The Hermit really focuses us on great learning where we direct within ourselves, where we have questions, and we look for those answers not only in books, in teachers, and other sources, but we go inside to mine our own resources, our own experiences, in order to assert our own authority, to remember. And this feels very consistent with Buddhist thought, that we are our own authority. We are our own gods. It is the God within, or the goddess within, that we are explicating in our contemplation, in our meditation. However, the key to our learning, our healing, our authority is to share that with others. And that can come in the form of modeling it simply by the life you live, the work you do, the way you achieve your work. But it also is about the purpose of why you came. It's believable to me that you would be watching a tarot reading if you were intended to stay in a cloistered or secluded life and experience what we often think of as the stereotype of the hermit, right? Huddled away, perhaps in scholarship, perhaps in just being alone. Um, uh, the purpose of your experience, your growth, your healing is to be of greater service to others, to live a more fulfilled life. And doing that, it increasingly becomes doing what you do to the best of your ability. And that is how you share what you know. You model it, but you are always at some level teaching. In the past, the Page of Cups speaks to the open-hearted and tender inner child. And it's hard using phrases like that because they're so, they can become meaningless. But what I mean by that is the spark of spirit, of consciousness, the innocence, the simplicity, the joy in simply being without rules, regulations, or agendas before we were molded into the people we were expected to be by our families, by our teachers, by our bosses, by others. Here you are aware that that is the source of your greatest healing, your greatest creativity, and your greatest joy. The ability to imagine, to be creative, and that comes from getting in touch with your own original feelings and emotions. Not shying away from those, allowing yourself the space to be safe with those. And that again goes back to some kind of a practice where you honor yourself, where you take time to simply be, to let yourself connect with your feelings, to retrieve emotions that you may have forgotten that you experienced, or to discover new ones. This really is underscoring the creative impulse in all earth signs that is often overlooked. I think Taurus is most obviously associated with rulership of Venus, with beauty, harmony, gracious form, patience, relationships, things we romantically associate with the creative urge, the creative ability to be on stage, for example. However, Virgo and Capricorn are equally creative. It's not about being an artist or expressing yourself in an artistic way. It's about whatever you do, doing it in a way that expresses you. You can have a business that is not an arts business, that is an accounting firm, and be creative in that. Creative means it's matching your comfortable way, your most powerful way of accomplishing what you want to accomplish. In the future, the Eight of Pentacles is describing what we do as earth signs. This is about you understanding that it is the perseverance, it is the work ethic, the devotion, the loyalty, the devotion to personal development, understanding that improving yourself improves your opportunities to maximize and be successful on the road to your manifestation. This is what ensures your success. If whatever you love, whatever you're passionate about, whatever gift you have, it requires each and every one of these steps to manifest into a successful product, performance, service, whatever it is that you do. You understand these things are linked up with who you are. Becoming a better person allows you to be a better vehicle, a less biased, a more neutral and empowering force in your environment. But it also ensures success. Success because ultimately Every step is an act of love. And this is what, in fact, your service is about. It's how it's felt. Building resources, long-term values for others that they can appreciate and use is part of why you're here and why you are comfortable with structures that allow you to automate this process. How you've learned through various experiences how to support the success of others, and that in turn is turned towards your own vision, your own goals. I'm going to follow this reading with an individual reading for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Thank you. If you're enjoying this, I appreciate you liking this, sharing it with others who might enjoy it or find it useful, and subscribing to my channel. Namaste. Taurus, I have clarified the Hermit card with the Seven of Pentacles, and this is describing a sort of practical expression of the Hermit card, the willingness and the ability to go inside for the answers you seek. So here you are evaluating where you are. This is sort of a status check, and you are sort of pausing enough to figure out what your goal is, to reset yourself, and to assess how you've been investing in that goal. Have you been careless? Are you sitting on resources that you haven't developed and used? But you are aware that you are where you're at because of the investments you've made in yourself. Understanding now that your progress is dependent on the eternal and continuous putting back into yourself so that you're in a position to move forward. You are on your path. You are devoting yourself to something that it appears you've a talent you've had throughout your life, and perhaps only now do you have the opportunity to really devote yourself to it. It also indicates that as the passage of time, something has been lost, and perhaps what is in danger of being lost is that same goal. In other words, the goal or the desire you once had with regard to this gift or talent is shifted now because time has moved on. You have more experiences. You understand new possibilities that are available to you that were not in the past. Your energy level has likely shifted depending on what it is you're doing, or no matter what it is you're doing, your energy level must be stabilized. And part of the message of this card is that you are learning to work smarter, not harder. You can't continue to work the way you always have because, Taurus, you're such a phenomenal worker. You have such a beautiful work ethic. You are so diligent in beautifying, harmonizing, and balancing your environment and your life. However, you're having to make some strategic decisions about how you spend your time because now more than ever, you deserve respite, downtime, relaxation, and that's important, must be built into what you do. There's no more going all the time. It isn't healthy and it isn't as productive as it sounds. So you are thinking a lot about how you can better utilize your time. Sometimes it's with the assistance of others. Sometimes it's in strategizing what you do in such a way that it flows better and takes less of your stressful energy, stressed energy, in order to be successful or accomplish, make the progress you want to make. In the past, the Page of Cups is clarified by the Eight of Cups, and this is about you having gained the courage, the energy, the support of loved ones, of associates, of friends, of your environment, so that you are eager to reach for a challenge that is significant to your life purpose. You're ready now to put the capstone on your sense of fulfillment and accomplishment, and thus your joy. It's interesting to me how this little mountain up here looks almost like a nipple. That's just me, probably. But the moon is also echoing a theme of surrender, release. There's a feeling here that you have gained significant support in your youth when you were a child. And perhaps you are now valuing it in a way that is giving you the courage and momentum to reach for a long ago dream. Certainly, you are tailoring that to your current environment, potential, energy, resources, but you again are reaching for something that you perhaps long abandoned as a feature of your lost youth. This is a beautiful card about perseverance, and because it's another 8, it is echoing the idea of success and completion. In the future, the 8 of Pentacles is clarified by the Ace of Cups. As you focus very clearly on this missing cup, I would say, from the 8 of Cups to the 9 of Cups, this is the completion, this is the happiness. I love the kind of fiery aura that circles this cup here of water. And water, of course, is your passion, it's your devotion, it's the thing that makes the work you do, and you're willing to work hard to achieve this. It makes it flow. It makes it easy because you're loved, you love it, you're inspired, you're devoted to it, you enjoy every aspect of crafting some goal. And this is what connects you to your authentic self. So this is indicating that you are in a position right now to devote yourself wholeheartedly. It doesn't mean that every minute of your time is devoted towards this, but your whole heart is in it when you're present, when you show up to make progress along this path of fulfillment, of completion, of love. It can also indicate some kind of completion of a relationship, one that you now appreciate as loving. And it feels as though relationships from the past that you have not felt were loving or supportive or that saw you, you're actually understanding the value of what you've gained. It doesn't mean that these relationships are happy or productive or a match for where you are now. It's likely that many of them are not, but you can release those with love, without rancor, without resentment or hostility, and simply accept that the love that you have been working towards expressing has always been there for you, that others have always seen that talent, have always seen what you are now seeing is available for yourself. I'm going to finish up this reading with a crystal oracle, and I like it. I think this is called an ametrine. An ametrine keyword is intuition. I'm fully aligned with my intuition. I trust this powerful wisdom to guide me. If I were you, Taurus, I would be writing down my dreams, or certainly devoting myself anew, renewing my meditation practice, whatever it is. It needn't be anything formal, but there is a wealth of connections to spirit, perhaps important ancestors that have always been there for you. Thank you so much. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like it. Please share it with others if you feel moved to. Please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot, but I would love a comment if any of this is helpful or is resonating for you. Until next time, namaste. Welcome, Virgo. I pulled for you the King of Cups to clarify the Hermit card. As many of you know, the Hermit card is one of your cards, a card closely associated with you. And for the Virgos that are here today, I'm sensing your productive alignment with the Hermit card, this sense of self-compelled, practical steps, deliberation, and steps in achieving your goals. This is the compulsion to keep everything in order. And in fact, at times there is a goal, an inherent goal of excellence or perfection that can be challenging for others with whom you work. The King of Cups is clarifying that, and this brings in another element of emotional emotional maturity, which is interesting because the Page of Cups is here in the past, indicating to me that you have done a lot to learn to work your way through the resistance to express yourself emotionally, to share your thoughts, to declare or claim the things that you want, to feel deserving of love. And this has little to do with the objective circumstances in our lives. It can have a lot to do with our sense of perhaps generational trauma or challenges. It can also indicate the way that you have managed your efforts, your professional path in a way that seeks a kind of cultural or healing of cultural or generational ancestral trauma. And this is where I believe dreams, for those of you that dream, that document your dreams, is of assistance to you. You may be sensing an alignment with an ancestor, known or unknown. And when I say unknown, I am speaking broadly that we don't know, particularly depending on your cultural background. All of our ancestors are not readily available to us, but there is a way that you are feeling and sensing the presence of someone who has inspired you. This can be a cultural or a historical figure that in many ways can play the role or be a stand-in for an ancestor, if not literally, so that the experiences that you now have overcome, you've withstood, the challenges you've triumphed over, the heartbreaks that you've weathered, the disappointments, and the failures personally, the discomfort with sharing your feelings, the shame perhaps that you experience as a result of sharing your experiences, is something that you've come to see as a strength. It informs your work in a very real and tangible way. It perhaps has even motivated the purpose of your professional practice, work, or efforts. So you are seeing this as a personal vulnerability, the ability now in your matured state to expose your vulnerability is what helps you identify what others, the motivation, the reason why you do what you do, how sharing that with others makes your work more meaningful to others, makes you easier to connect to. And whatever you do, the ability to motivate, to inspire, beyond simply informing, is a critical aspect of your audience or the work that you do. In the past, the Page of Cups is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm seeing actually a concrete opportunity, material opportunity that you've invested as a result of your natural gift, your inborn talent, your ability to dream, your imagination, your creativity are the things in your past, perhaps things that have always been recognized that you've utilized, but very selectively in a very safe way so as not to expose yourself in the way that you're now finding courage to expose yourself. This can be as simple as, or it's nothing about your emotions and sharing those can be simple as an earth sign. I know how unsafe that can feel. However, there is a way that you are making something real that you desired in the past. You see an opportunity to realize a relationship, a creative goal, an imaginative project, an aspect or connection of your work to your family story as an example. There's a way that a feeling that you have had difficulty speaking to or articulating is becoming real. You have a desire to make it real, to articulate this claim, this desire for love, or this desire for greater expression, a more fulfilling expression. I always get for you, Virgo, because I sense a achievement, accomplishment in your work, that it is something that adds to your work in a significant way. It also is a way that you can stabilize, make your effort last, build something long term, contribute to something long term that can lead to a legacy. In the future, the Ace of Cups, and we have cups and pentacles all over the place, which is beautiful. This is clarifying the Eight of Cups with the Ace of Cups, and this is about that missing cup, that missing piece of your completion, your achievement. So this is clearly the theme here. You are at a place where what was once difficult, what was once repressed or uh, was attached to shame or vulnerability or rejection, even, is now the missing element to your material success, to completing a project, to allowing it to live in the real world with significant long-term impact. And it can be as surprising to others as perhaps it has become to you that love is the thing, the sense of flow, the relaxation into a gift you have. This can be your imaginative eye, the creative way that you combine things, your connections with other creatives, or a creative dimension to your work is what is bringing you completion, independence, and greater stability and security. Not to mention you're receiving something that you've always wished for, but were afraid to ask for. And now you understand that this is the source of your strength. This is the element X that allows you to complete something that brings absolute significance to your life's work. I enjoy this. Thank you so much, Virgo, for this reading. If you've enjoyed it, please like this video, share it with others if you feel inclined, subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot, but also drop me a comment if any of this is resonating with you, or that if you have an experience you'd like to share. Thank you so much. Until next time, namaste. Welcome, beautiful Capricorn. This is the 10 of Pentacles that I have pulled to clarify the Hermit card for you. The Hermit is this place that I believe is where you have cultivated an inner practice that is fairly consistent in your life to withdraw, to look within, recognizing yourself for many of the Capricorns I'm speaking to as an authority onto yourself, deeply internalizing the reality that no one knows what's right for you better than you. And any need to conform or effort at conformity is simply because that those goals, those rules, those requirements or requests are in alignment with what you know are best for you. Somehow this ability to stay in your space, to look within, and then to model that behavior or that healing, learning with others is what is now informing your sense of legacy. This is less about a concrete thing than it is about completing an experience and recognizing how you have benefited tremendously, the incredible privileges or access that you have. And as a result of this rich inner life, likely pantheon of ancestors or spirit guides that some of you may be aware of or are discovering, your jewels are mounting. You're finding your wealth in your family or ancestral history. And this, unlike a kind of conventional Western way in which we think of our families as home and private, through your dream work, through your spiritual practice, or through the ability to go within and find those ancestors, you're finding connections to ancestors who have achieved much. This can also extend to your own past lives. You may be experiencing in your dreams stepping into roles that may resonate as a former life that you led, and thus you've accumulated wisdom and experience, emotions, responsibilities that you may not have known that you had. But it makes perfect sense. And this is where you are now understanding that you are not only receiving healing, support, and guidance, but you're also healing your ancestors to some degree or another. This is very directly clear about healing ancestral, generational, or cultural trauma. And depending on your cultural background, some of those directives and mandates are very clear. There are events in the world that are occurring that are reifying your connection to other places on the globe and places that you are deeply connected, where you feel the pulse of change in the most beneficial way. And this is not to say that every experience has been wonderful or you've always been somebody powerful. The grandmother crone is as powerful as any military captain could be. It isn't about a judgment or an evaluation of those experiences. It's about recognizing access to the skills and development that you've had in your life. And your ancestors are communicating that with you in your dream life as you gain more and more facility moving throughout your dreams in ways that allow you to move from role to role or location to location, timeline to a different timeline. And I do believe that lucid dreaming is something that is perhaps you are discovering, as well as astral projection, astral travel in your dreams and in your waking life. So this is part of what is accumulating this awareness of the tremendous heritage that you are contributing to, and that this knowledge, at least in part, is your legacy. In the past, the Page of Cups is clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. The Page of Cups again speaks about this gentle inner self, this inner child that we have been working at protecting, healing, in some cases repressing it, hiding it because of the repercussions or the consequences we've experienced, the shame in some cases, the rejection when we've exposed this dreamier, creative, gentle self that doesn't need an agenda for every activity that is engaged in. So many things are done because they feel good. Dreaming feels good. It provides incredible stimulation for the creative process. And for those of you that are creative in whatever field that you endeavor, this is a tremendous way that you protect that source for yourself. The Wheel of Fortune is seeing you externalize these qualities. You're not feeling the necessity to hide. You're recognizing that hiding is part of blunting your ability to to manifest what you desire. And part of what you've been protecting is the fear of wanting love or success or comfort or joy, that you are deserving of that. And in fact, your understanding as you clarify your own goals, your own desires, who you authentically are, that you actually created, chose this life in order to experience that love and success that you absolutely are worthy of. The Wheel of Fortune is in some ways about the tremendous change you're going through, as so many of us are. The Ten of Pentacles, the same. This is about moving from one stage, completing a cycle, and moving on to another cycle, a more public cycle, a more external cycle for you. So where you once received blessings, in the case of the Wheel of Fortune, where you once continue to act upon your principles, your belief, your faith in higher good, the abundance that is available for everyone, and supported others to participate in that work, it is the opportunities for the achievement or accomplishment of that goal is now something that actively is you participate within the world. You're gaining opportunities and a multitude of opportunities that are allowing you to externalize, hold on to your principles, your vision, but also to share those globally. So a lot of what you do is motivated by an urge to serve humankind. Your dream life is linking you up to places and experiences throughout the world that are being confirmed as a part of your heritage, a part of your uh, um, ancestral experience. So you are finding greater connection now as you claim, explicitly ask for what it is you desire. The Justice card is clarifying the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles is so clearly, almost stereotypically, what earth signs do, what you do, Capricorn, moving deliberately towards a goal and losing yourself in the joy of that, in the devotion. That's what I'm calling joy or love. It's a devotion, a loyalty to the principles, to the experience of crafting something beautiful, excellent, to the best of your ability. And that is connected to your personal development, understanding that they're linked. As within, so without. And that's something that you're actually internalizing and learning how to act upon that inner vision, those inner gifts of clarity that revolve around justice, harmonizing, balancing out what you have experienced, the work you've already done, and what you've earned, what you have a right to claim. This is finding justice within your own life as a result of learning to claim what you deserve, what you've earned, and encouraging others to advocate for themselves as well. So you're willing and able to advocate for others who have shared your experience, particularly as it comes to healing this generational trauma, this cultural trauma that you are experiencing, have experienced. But it also empowers others who have shared your experience, watching your process, understanding that this requires an act of love, and that self-love must precede the love that you give to others. You must move from a place that acknowledges the gifts and the tremendous work that you've done. For many of you, this is over lifetimes to achieve some kind of global justice or abundance, some kind of balance that you have an opportunity in this life to achieve. And this is because you've come to honor and love every part of yourself, even the parts of yourself that you were told were not allowed. And so you are in a place where you are actually activating that gift of who you are everywhere. There's no hiding anymore. I'm going to finish up this reading with a crystal oracle, and out flies the rhodochrosite, and the key word is self-acceptance. I love this. I fully accept myself and know that I'm worthy of great things in life. I'm in such a beautiful mood. Thank you so much, fellow Capricorns, for this powerful reading. If you've enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. But I would love any comments that you have to share if this reading has resonated for you. Thank you so much. Until next time, namaste.